It is Kerimcan from Gallery x-ist in Istanbul. And Kerimcan, what's your first impression of the fair and the current edition?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, could you tell us something about the attendance of collectors?
Of course. Comparatively, this is I believe this is the fifth contemporary fair. And what we've seen is first of all, as far as the Turkish market is concerned, an amazing extra generation of interest now. Every year, the attendance goes higher and higher. Yesterday was the opening day, and it was probably the highest attended opening day we've seen here to this day. Those are numbers. Numbers don't usually reflect quality as much, but in this, I'm very happy to say that the amount of, first of all, what's important is you have Turkish collectors who are now really understanding what the role of the collector is in the art scene. They've understood that it's really important to be here early, to see good stuff, to capture or acquire good pieces as early as possible. So it's developing a kind of an Art Basel first day buzz, which is fun. We'll see whether it ever reaches that point. But one of the most important additions has been the unsurpassed amount of now international collectors and curators and what I consider the art professionals. This year, regardless of, again, kind of an awkward timing for the fair, it's gotten quite good attendance. Hopefully, I believe next year is actually, the next event is actually going to be probably the most important one to date because of the fact that it is planned to coincide with the Biennale. And I think that's really important because biennales are usually very event-specific. The international audience gets to see maybe a full round of international artists, but don't really get a chance to see what the local Turkish content is because it's a kind of a subjective selected selection. Combining something that has a commercial aspect, like the art fair, along with something that's more about the intellectual aspects of the art world in the BNI structure, I think is going to be a fantastic, unique combination. I don't know really if there are that many examples of a Biennale and an art fair happening at the same time.
Yeah, in Turin.
In Turin, yes.
Okay. But the Biennale is usually in September.
Yes, yes, and therefore the fair time is also changing to September. So that will be an important, I think, an additional element, and I think it's going to put the galleries in a position in which they've now started to understand how important it is to show new works in the fair. I think that's one of the biggest changes that I've seen this year. As a gallery, x-ist has always prided itself on making sure that what you see in the fair is something you see for the first time. Practically, almost all the works are like at the most a week old. 5 days old. There are some pieces that are 2 days old that were made specifically for the fair. What we used to see was there was a lot of other galleries that would show you works that were kind of almost leftover works. They were a year or 2 years old, and it was just about having the work. Now the event feel is getting better.
Can you show us some of the very fresh pieces?
Of course, of course. This particular piece that I have right behind me, this is this fantastic interactive piece by Cem Dinlenmiş. This is actually about 4 days old. One of the things I love about it is the fact that it is an interactive piece. As an interactive piece, what does that mean? It means that it allows the viewer to break the frame, to not just observe, but also have some interplay with the work, and I personally am very, very thrilled with this particular piece. It went on display yesterday. It was sold almost immediately.